What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Seth the Lawn Surgeon. And you already know what time it is. Tipsy Talk. Alright people, we'll get right into it, as I do all the time. People always want to know what's in the cup. Black Dog Bourbon, as per usual. Back from the tequila to the bourbon. Reason I didn't do a Tipsy Talk yesterday is because I didn't have nothing to talk about, you know. I didn't have anything to talk about, so it wouldn't have been a Tipsy Talk, it would just have been a tipsy. So anywho, I still didn't have anything to do after, and I was out driving and I saw a guy panhandling in the median, and then poof, an idea came. So I'm going to see if I can execute this idea here. Question. Should you hire, or would you hire a homeless person or somebody that's down on their luck to do work? Is that a good idea? Is that a good practice? And for me, over the years, I've kind of steered away from that. I don't think that's something I would do. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, Seth, that's messed up. That person's down on their luck. They can use the extra money. You need to give that guy a try. But in my mind, I think that it possibly, you know, depending on the person's situation, might hurt them more than it will help them, and it might hurt me more than it will help me. And I'm having this conversation because I'm going into this new year. I don't know if I talked about this, but I'm going to get a second vehicle, probably some kind of small truck. I'll talk about that in another Tipsy Talk. But and I'm gonna get my dad to help me. Hopefully this works out. This will help take some of the load. But anywho, forget all of that. I'm getting off topic. Let me explain to you why I don't think this is a good idea. And I know you're saying, well, who do I hire, Seth? Because I know there's people out here who's trying to find people to work for them. I don't know. Because I haven't reached that stage in my business. But I just don't think that this is a good situation for either party. If y'all think back and remember, here comes the long story. For people who are new, I gotta set it up. I can't just give you all the information. So if y'all don't wanna, if y'all got a drink, y'all don't wanna chill, y'all don't wanna hang out with your boy, you can just cut the video off now. I'm about to set this thing up. If you remember back in the day on like 2020 or whatever, they used to always have these stories of people who would panhandle and they weren't really homeless, you know, and it kind of led to this culture of people just not believing in panhandlers. So whenever they see somebody that's panhandling, they just try to judge them. Maybe their shoes are too new. Maybe they might have a cell phone even though it's prepaid, and they're like, oh, he's not really homeless. Because these people would like panhandle all day and then get in a car. And you know, people are like, well, maybe they live in a car. They might even live with somebody and they panhandle. But my opinion about that is that it's just the mindset. Hypothetically, even if this person had a car, even if this person had an apartment, the fact that they think it is a feasible way of life to spend their time out in the weather, whether it's hot, whether it's super cold, to panhandle all day. And I'm sure they probably make decent money. Maybe they make $50 a day. You know, maybe bigger cities they make $100 a day. You don't know. And that's good money. And all you gotta do is stand there with a sign. But you gotta be down on luck, on pride. You get what I'm saying? To stand out there and do that when you don't have to. So in my mindset, it's like, bro, like people who say, oh, I'm not gonna give that person money because I don't think they're homeless. Bro, more power to you. Take my dollar. If you want to stand out here in the cold, I'm gonna go home, make a nice cold beverage, and make a tipsy talk. And I don't be. God, that came out wrong, bro. Makes them seem like I don't care about homeless people. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. But so about hiring them, you don't know where that person, what went wrong in that person's life for them to end up like that. Hypothetically, say they truly are homeless. You don't know if that person got a divorce and their wife took all their money and their house, and they just, all they had was a car, and then now they homeless. Or you don't know if this person had an addiction, lost their job. Maybe they lost their job, or they had an addiction. And a lot of times when people get homeless, they start to come off of their addiction, not because it's by choice, but it's because they don't have any more income or funds to feed their addiction. So they can't, if it's alcohol, they can barely afford to buy alcohol. Or if it's drugs, they could barely afford to buy drugs. And now all their money that they get, maybe from panhandling, goes to food. You know, food and necessities that they might need. I've had many times where people like that have come up to me and told me, and hey man, you know, I was looking for work, and I've thought about it. You know, I'm like, bro, like, should I or whatever? But then I'm like, well, am I have to always pick this person up? Well, like, how would I find them? You know, and also, would me paying them, like, this is where I feel like it's bad for them, is like me paying them, will that start giving them income to feed their bad habit that might have made them homeless in the first place? I don't know if y'all familiar with this guy. I forget his name, but how y'all gonna be familiar with him and I don't know his name? Anyway, years ago, this guy went viral. He had this radio voice. Hey, it's K95. You know, so like people would go up to him. He was homeless. People would go up to him and film him and get him to say stuff. Hey, just say this, you know. And he started getting a buzz. He started going viral. And people started giving him a job. He started getting job offers. So he got job offers. He was getting paid thousands of dollars. And he didn't look like homeless. He looked like decent. But once he started getting them jobs, guess what happened? Come to find out, he got homeless because of alcoholism. So he started drinking again, and he started missing his meetings for his jobs and his voiceover stuff. And there you go. Now he's back on the street. No job, no money. And that's just how I feel about giving people that chance. Like, I feel like I am going to be an accessory to their habit, if that's the case. I had one guy. I have this particular customer. She's probably close to 70s. I'm not sure how old she is. Maybe she's in her 60s. But I cut her grass, and I was out cutting the grass one day, and this guy came up. It's an older guy. He's probably in his 50s at least. And he went up to the door. He talked to her, and then he came out down the sidewalk, and he talked to me. He told me, "Hey man, I was looking for work. Do you have any work?" And like I said, I've been giving people the same story for years. Oh yeah, you know, yeah, I don't have that much work. I just have enough yards to, you know, pay my bills, blah blah blah. I give people that same story, but it's kind of hard to do that now when I got my setup that I got. I got this big old sign, a big old trailer, and a pickup truck. People, and I still be giving people that same story. They probably like, "Yeah, all right, you don't got that much work," but I'm still gonna tell it. Anywho, so he was like, "Yeah, you know." And so this particular yard, coincidentally, this stop at this particular customer's house is a 3-stop shop. Sometimes a 4-stop. There's another guy that gives me, there's 4 yards right there. And then there's one more yard around the corner. So it's like a 5-stop shop radius. And so I started thinking, I'm like, well, if I get this guy, I said, "Where do you live?" He said he lived right here around the corner. I said, all right, well, if he want to work, I can just be like, "Hey, meet me here. We cut these 4 yards, drive around the corner. He helps me cut that yard. And then boom, I drive him back home. He helped me with these 5 yards. I see what he's working with." So this is last year, 2020. I said, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. Normally, I tell people, "Nah, I'm not looking for work, but give me your number, blah blah blah." This time I said, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy a chance. So I gave him my number. He never called me. So yeah, that was my one time. I don't think it's gonna happen again. It's, you know, same area. You know, I was at the 7-Eleven. Some guy walked up to me, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, I was looking for work, blah 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 blah." Same situation, like I said. Look good. Look like he's on the up and up. You know, he's just looking for work. I said, "Okay, well, where you live?" And he didn't have a car. I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, where do you live?" "I live in Ashland." I'm like, "But that's 35, 40 minutes away from here. Well, am I supposed to pick you up? I don't even have no yards in this area." Actually, for those who are not familiar, I don't have any yards anywhere in that vicinity. So, technically I do. I do have a yard in Glen Allen, but still. And that's like 20 minutes from Ashland. Can't do it, bro. But yeah, let me know y'all's opinions on that. Do y'all work or pick up guys, you know, the guys that kind of come up to you and ask you for work? Is that something you guys do? Have y'all been successful in that? I've seen where Weed Whacker Lawn Care has worked with some guys like that, and it hasn't worked out. So how do y'all hire? You know, leave that in the comments. Let me know. Like I said, maybe I'll go into this, right? We only at 14 minutes, people. I can't leave y'all with a short tipsy talk. For those of you who actually support your boy and watch the whole thing, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna give y'all some nitty gritty. I'm gonna give y'all some plan. I don't know, I probably briefly talked about this, about what my plans for this upcoming year is, to kind of minimize the strain on myself. Started getting to the end of the year. I actually have a list here. I'll flash it. Bam. I don't know why I did that. But it's 44 names. And these are actually names I'm getting together. I'm going to send these customers a little holiday thank you package. Hope you had a good holiday. But those 44 names are 44 people that I know I'm probably potentially going to be mowing this year. And those of you not familiar with me, I started off last year with 25 roughly, and now I'm up to 44, 45, and that's just the people I know potentially I'm gonna have and that I got most work from this year. There's other people that I kind of got sparingly, probably 10 more people, so we up in the 50s. And so I'm like, well, I'm starting off at 44. I need some help. And so this is my plan, right? So I talked about this in another video of how I want to you shouldn't just hire people just to make your life easier. You should hire people to make money where you're not making money. For instance, if I hire somebody just to ride around with me, now that person is just making my life easier because now I can get my jobs done. And so, for instance, like maybe instead of finishing my day at 5 o'clock every day, I can finish it at 2 or 3 o'clock because I had somebody ride with me and we cut yards twice as fast. But it's not helping me make any more money. My plan with my dad is he's retired, so yeah. I talked to him about this and he said he'll be willing to do this. I want to send him out to do basic stuff. Mulch, gravel, flower beds, and I'm going to train him on hedging bushes. That's going to be rough. It's not rough, not saying he can't do it, but I don't like to give up things that's like the key to my service, which is mowing, trimming, and hedging bushes. I'm a beast at those things. So, but I'm gonna try to release some of this responsibility. So this is my plan. I am going to get a small pickup truck. I am aiming for a Chevy S10 or a Ford Ranger. Something small. If I get a deal for like a F-150 or something that's like a 6-cylinder, a V6, then okay. But the reason why I'm aiming for a small vehicle is because the sole purpose of this vehicle is going to be for just that. It's basically going to be a mulch truck. Like I told y'all last year, I like to carry mulch in the back of my truck bed. So what I will do in a particular situation is I will go get some mulch, put it in this little S10 truck, get 1 yard of mulch, boom. Get a wheelbarrow, put it on top, strap it down, boom. Now I will get my dad to come, and while I'm out mowing on a particular day, he can be out mulching. I was even thinking about a situation today where I have a route, and I have a route of mowing where I have this yard that I mow, and it is a big yard. That big yard, you might have seen it. It takes me like 2 hours literally to mow this yard. And around the corner, I was doing the mulch, and I think y'all saw me doing the mulch for this particular yard. And I calculated, I found out this year that this takes me 4 yards of mulch to do this particular yard. So my plan, because I do always cut this particular yard first, my plan would be, hypothetically, me and my dad would go. He would have this bed of mulch. I would have my truck with my equipment, and I will have mulch in the back of my truck, right? So I'll get him set up at this yard with his yard of mulch. He can start spreading it, and I will go back and I will cut the other yard, which will take me 2 hours. So it'll give him 2 hours to spread that mulch. Take your time or whatever. And then once I finish cutting this yard, I'll head around the corner to where he's at, and then I'll start spreading my yard of mulch. Because last year I didn't cut that yard where the mulch is at, but if they want me to, I just head around there, and while I'm starting to cut this yard, he can start spreading the mulch. So now we're getting 2 yards of mulch down, and then I can send him back if we need to put a third or fourth, and boom, boom, boom. I can send him out to do those mulch jobs. Because what happens with me is, because I hit the season running. You know what I mean? Mind you, I only had 25 yards starting off. I mean, starting off 25 yards. By the end of the season, I had 45. Even with my 25 yards, I was hard pressed to get all the houses that needed mulch done. And I ended up, I'm out June, July, still doing mulch. And then the reason that is because June, July, mowing slows down a little bit, so it allows me a little bit more wiggle room to do mulch. But at the same time, y'all know, these customers, right, springtime hit, they like to have their mulch done. Now that I have my dad with this little small S10 Ford Ranger, he can be out here spreading mulch for me. You know what I mean? And I had a couple of people randomly wanted me to do gravel flower beds last year. And I just got bags of gravel, boom, 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 spread it out for them. But, yeah. I can't wait. I feel like this is my pivot point. I feel like I'm not at the point where I need to hire somebody, but I think if I can get my dad set up with this second truck, this will be his truck, and he can go out and do small jobs for me that will light my load. Now all I have to do is go out and mow, which I can do. I could go out here and mow a whole bunch of yards in a day, and it makes it easier when I don't have to do these odd jobs. Or leaf cleanup. Sometimes people will randomly ask me to do a leaf cleanup, which at that point I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I guess hopefully this Ford Ranger and or S10 will have a hitch, and at that point I'm gonna have to get a small trailer, but a trailer big enough to fit my Mustang on it, which my Mustang is breaking down. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah. So then, if I had that set up, where I had a little small 5x8 trailer or 4x6 trailer, just big enough to fit that on, my dad can go out and, I mean, that's down the road because I don't even think he knows how to use a zero turn. But I can send him out, say some people want a late spring cleanup or something, send him out with that little setup and he go do that. Or lay down the road, say I need him to cut a small yard, send him out with the walk behind, the 36-inch. I'm rambling at this point, but that's like a brief preview of my season coming up. What plans do y'all got? Because like I said, you know, I feel like you have to grow somehow every year. And that's my way of growing. I'm turning into a one setup business to a two setup business. I'm not gonna go out here and buy a whole nother setup, another truck, another trailer, and boom, boom, boom. No. Start easy. Just buy the truck. Now this person could do mulch and basic stuff. Then I feel like if I had to predict, I feel like I'm gonna get this truck, my dad's gonna do that for me, then maybe I'll hire another guy. That other guy will have to ride with me because maybe I'll go from 45 yards to 50 or 60 yards, and now this guy's helping me get through my day better. And if that guy wants extra work, I can send him out with my dad, and both of them can go out and do a mulch job or something like that. But I feel that's where I'm gonna be at the end of the year. If I had to predict, I'm gonna have 2 trucks, 1 trailer, and I'm gonna have 2 employees, and I'm gonna have at least 65 yards, from 45 to 65. That's what I predict. Anywho, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Yes, sir.